All right, so I am reviewing what it takes to be a good journalist by using ChatGPT to tell me, and then I'm evaluating what it says, basically just kind of responding to it. It's kind of a journalist reacts. Let's see what they say. All right, so I'll go ahead and share my screen here. This is what GPT showed me. I said, "What what makes a good journalist?" So we're on number 4, clear and effective communication. This is the writing part, and it's not as easy as it seems. But when um, you learn how to make sense of things, you learn how to clarify, you learn how to see what's the most important thing and what things come off of those most important things. You can ask good questions, and then you can create a story that makes sense. And so every story that makes sense has a structure. Some stories might actually have a it might be a um it might not be like, let's use proposition 1, that which was recently on the ballots. You could say proposition 1 would allow more voters to vote in primaries. You could say that, but you'd be missing kind of half the maybe more than half the effect of the proposition. If you said Proposition 1 would turn Oregon blue. Oregon would turn Idaho blue. You might be you're still missing some of the context. You're basically drawing a conclusion. But if you're like, you know, uh, uh, parties clash over, I mean, I don't want to say Democrats and Republicans, although that's kind of what it was. Democrats and Republicans, or conservatives and liberals clash over Proposition 1. And and then you can structure it to where here's the pro side, here's the con side, you decide, right? um but usually what you're going to do in a report is you're going to show an angle. In a newspaper article or an editorial, you're going to show an angle. You're going to say, here's what proposition 1 would do for illegals, let's say, or sorry, undocumented. That's what you would say if you were trying to make it a positive piece on prop 1. Or you're choosing an angle, and you're always choosing an angle, no matter what you're doing. There's always an angle. It's just, what angle is it, and is it obvious, and do my readers share that angle? That's the most important thing, I think. So if you're if you represent Twin Falls as a journalist, then you're probably not going to assume satanic values, right? Because, and then not tell anybody what your values are, and then report on everything from that point of view, because nobody would be able to make sense of it. Everybody would be like, how are they getting to this conclusion about abortion or about whatever, right? Um, and but if you share the values of the people you're representing largely, you need to say less. You don't have to say as much to be clear and effective. All right, let's jump into the definition. Writing concisely, which is, it needs to be trained. Organizing facts clearly and adapting complex topics into understandable language are essential. So this is why we don't use, this is an example of bad writing. So using modifiers instead of saying, instead of applying the same, what you would do is you would say, concise writing, organized facts, adapting complex topics to an understandable language, allow the writer to tailor their style to their audience without compromising accuracy. But this is GPT, and all it does is take information. It takes what it sees on the internet and thinks that's good writing. Whatever it's trained on, that's what it thinks is good writing. Anyway, it's just an example. Modifiers, we try to stay away. To be verbs, we try to stay away from those. Um, so, but it's right. They tailor their style or their audience without compromising accuracy. So you want to be clear and effective, which means you wouldn't probably choose one side of an issue and not tell anybody that's the side you're on. And and if you did, you would try to give the other side its fair shake as well. And there is a way to do that, and some people can, and some people can't. All right. That's great. Clear and effective communication. This calls for a course. We need to probably put together something in the Magic Valley where we're able to talk about we're able to uh, talk about how to write with clarity and effectiveness and how to communicate that way. And I think we can. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I just need to know when. When are we going to do it? So let me know if you guys are interested.